Hello fans, collectors, and investors, welcome back to Iconic Baseball. I am Iconic Al, and if you're just finding this channel for the first time, I want to say welcome. And please subscribe, especially if you're interested in collecting and the greatest ball players of all time, because that's what I collect. And on this channel, I'm presenting my top 100 greatest and most iconic ball players, in my opinion. And I'm presenting them one by one, from 100 up to number 1. Today, we're on number 84, who is a current player and one of my favorite players to watch in the current game. He's one of the most fierce competitors that I've ever seen.
The thing I actually had to get used to was when I was warming up, the swelling underneath my eye was kind of jiggling around.
One of the best pitchers I've ever seen.
Win.
And there's no substitute.
Hear the crowd going nuts. You know, everybody starts getting on their feet, starts cheering for all those two-strike counts. I'm telling you, that just pumps me up on the mound. The louder they get, the more I want to do it.
This guy is unique. He's fun to watch. He plays with passion, and he's just flat out one of the best pitchers I've ever seen. You know him as Mad Max, the great Max Scherzer.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
All right, number 84, Max Scherzer. One of the most impressive pitchers in the modern era, and will emerge from this era as one of the greatest ever. He's been remarkably good for a long period of time. He's been elite for a long period of time, and that's very hard to do in this game. He's recently gotten over the hump and got his 200th win, which is a big deal. And I think 200 wins is now going to be the new 300 wins. I don't think we're going to see a pitcher crack 300 wins again after Justin Verlander, and he's the last guy who has an outside shot at 300 wins. If Verlander gets there, which is still a big if, he will be, I think, the last pitcher to ever get 300 wins with the way the pitchers are being used in the modern game. So the fact that Max was able to get that 200th win, that's going to be a big deal. I mean, that's going to be the new 300 wins. And so his lifetime record, I mean, he's got the 200 wins and 200 and 101. I mean, he's won twice as many games as he's lost, which is pretty great. And he hasn't always been on great teams. He's on a great team now, but you know, he was on subpar Detroit teams earlier in his career. Despite that, he's won 3 Cy Young Awards, a career 3.11 ERA, a 1.076 WHIP. He's compiled 71.2 WAR to this point. And mind you, he's still quite dominant at age 38. So we'll see how long that lasts. We'll see how deep into his 30s and maybe even 40s he can pitch and remain dominant. But even doing what he's done to this point, he belongs at this rank on my list. He could march higher on the list if he has another couple really dominant seasons. He could continue to ascend the iconic 100. But right now, he's at 84. He's known as a very colorful character in the game, a gritty performance in the 2019 World Series to put the Nationals over the top. I mean, who could forget that performance? I think that's when everyone fell in love with Max Scherzer, was that 2019 World Series. And I was fortunate. I kind of beat the crowd, I think, to Max Scherzer. I was able to acquire a couple really nice Max Scherzer pieces here. The first of which being a game-used baseball, which was actually game-used in 2013, his first Cy Young season. So this was the first year that Max won a Cy Young Award. You can see it's still caked with mud from that 2013 season. This is from a game on July 27th, 2013, in which Max won his 15th game. And at that point, as he's inscribed here, he inscribed his number 31, and he also inscribed his record on that day. After winning that game, he was 15-1. So that's pretty cool. So this is during his first Cy Young Award campaign. a year in which he would go on to win 21 games. He ended up 21-3 with a 2.90 ERA. And just a remarkable season. Anyway, this is actually authenticated through MLB, and you can actually look this up on the database, on Major League Baseball's database, and it will tell you, this is a Max Scherzer signed baseball from his 15th win of 2013. So this is pretty cool, and just the fact that there's still some mud in there just further authenticates it, makes it even more cool to me. And so that's a very unique, kind of a one-of-a-kind Max Scherzer item. And then this, a very early Max Scherzer auto. I think it's one that if I were to buy now, I probably actually couldn't afford it now. I bought this a few years ago before the boom, before people really saw Max as an investable player. But thankfully, I was able to pick this up probably in the $150 range. This was back when he was 19 years old. This came out in 2005. And he didn't really have any rookie cards until 2008, which was his first year in the league. So just look how young he is. This is when he was on the USA team at 19 years old. So this beautiful auto on there. And this is actually numbered 286 of 475. So this is a numbered pre-rookie auto from when he was 19 years old. A young Max Scherzer. You can still see his eyes are different colors, even back then. That doesn't change, but really cool. Especially when you consider what he was able to achieve after this picture was taken. I love early autos like that, early rookie cards that show these players before they became iconic. That's really amazing to me. Well, anyway, there's my spiel on Max Scherzer, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I hope you enjoyed seeing these items. I certainly enjoyed getting these things out of the out of the collection and sharing them on YouTube. Feel free to keep tuning into these top 100 videos. Subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And until next time, keep collecting and stay iconic.